Hello everyone! Today we have a really cool project. Let me show you. And that's just part of it. So yeah, that's a crown and it's actual gold. It's 18 karat gold and it's a very special project. So there is a Madonna statue here in the Basilica of Schepenheuvel. It's a basilica, I guess you call it. So it's like a small basilica because it's not made in the shape of a cross. It's made, I think it's a 7-point star, which is cool because we also have it reflected here. So it's kind of a place of pilgrimage and people go there, and the custom is to donate your jewels to the temple. So the legend is that Isabella started this by giving her jewels there or something. That's what I heard anyway. I didn't fact check. And then now people do that. They also give their jewels. So they have a huge treasure there. Well, huge. I actually haven't seen it. I don't know exactly. But yeah, they have a bunch of gold. I suppose also silver, whatever people give. And every 25 years they have the custom of creating a new crown. It's a crown for the Virgin, a little crown for Jesus, and also a little scepter. Here's a scepter. So I did not create this. This was commissioned to, so yeah, every 25 years, 2022 is a jubileum. They have to give a new crown, and it was commissioned to a local goldsmith. She lives not too far from me, and we had met before. And she thought that it would be cool to put some enamel because she's putting a lot of colors in here, and also maybe because it's a bit traditional. Enameling has been used mostly, I would think, in religious work. So the brief a little bit from the priest, I suppose, he wanted hearts. He wanted to make a crown with hearts, and really hearts, not a flaming heart, but a heart, like an icon. So she was like, wow, okay, more modern and with hearts everywhere. If you pay attention again, you will see that there are hearts everywhere. And here on the scepter also there's a heart here, and up here we are putting an enamel heart. So this ended up being a very cool project. I find I already made this heart a while ago. So she's gone to the treasure and they have a bunch of jewels there, and actually they have been put in here. So she selected a few of them, like this was a pair of earrings, I believe these also, and several others. Everything comes from things people directly donated. So literally someone gave their earrings and they're here, which I guess they will never know perhaps. I don't know how long they've been there, but that's pretty cool, I find. And all the stones too are just everything is collected from the treasure, so it ends directly on the figure. Here also you have some things. And yeah, lots of like diamonds and stuff that maybe comes directly from a ring. And not only that, but she has a bunch of things that she selected to work on this, and she's impressed it. So this is made with the wax, lost wax technique, and she has a bit of an organic style, and they commissioned her because they wanted this. But also she's impressed with jewelry that people donated. She's made impressions in here, so you can see. I hope it can focus on here. You see all of these impressions are created with pieces that she found in the treasure. So you find every texture, it comes from other pieces, which leaves an impression in here, and I think it's a really nice thought. So another thing she found, she had her designs. I don't know if I can maybe find or get her permission to, by the way, her name is Lies Wambacq. So she had her designs with very similar to this. Maybe the heart was a little bit bigger, and with the enamel heart and so on. And then she found several hearts in the treasure. I will put some screenshots now of some photo or video that I have. So this is a very popular shape. I've seen it also in Spain and I suppose all over Europe or anywhere. They are stamped, so it's made with a press, and they make two halves and put them together, solder them together so they are hollow. But there were several the same, and people have been given these hearts. Maybe that's also what inspired the priest. So she said, well, maybe we can literally use these hearts that people donated instead of creating a new one, because originally we were gonna make it out of sheet and I was gonna shape it, and I said, well, okay, I can try. It's a mystery alloy, but it's gold. It's probably 18 karat gold. We didn't test it, but it doesn't matter in this case. So she gave me two, and I saw them not quite in half, because if you start sewing in half, you lose some on both sides. So I sewed a little bit further than half to actually get half of each, because with the saw you lose a little bit. And indeed, we have two halves that are put together. And part of my job now is to set it in here, since I'm used to setting enamel. They left it for me. The stone setter has already set all these amazing stones. And also, in her design on the band, she had a red band all around, hopefully to make it with enamel. And that's my job also. So I'm making little bands. And that has been not as straightforward as I thought. I thought, oh, we're gonna be enameling on gold. This is a dream. And it is. But I had problems. Bam! Why is this happening? The enamel was chipping off entirely. This is 18 karat yellow gold. We discussed this when we sat down to see how we're gonna do this and so on. I said normally gold is no problem, especially yellow gold, because yellow gold normally is gold, silver, copper. You can also have gold and silver, which is perfect because that's non-tarnishing, although it's greenish. You have also gold and copper, which is pink gold. Okay, all of those are in metals that you can enamel, and they are not a problem. I said, as long as there's nothing weird in the alloy, which I suppose there isn't, to my knowledge, but we can ask, we can enamel it. Well, things, you know how things go. This project is due on the 28th of August, so I suppose actually 27th. On the 28th they put the crown on, and then there is like a coronation. I don't know why the coronation is not actually putting the crown on, but there are two ceremonies, and that's today is like 15 or 16, I don't know, let me check, 16th of August. And there are still some things that need to happen, and you need to always leave some space for eventualities. The stones are set, now the enamel needs to be set, and a little bit of a polish, I suppose. It's not too much anymore, but there's been lots of vacations involved. My vacation, the goldsmith's vacation, the stone setter's vacation, the casters also had to. There was some problem with casting the other crown, I think. I don't have it here because it doesn't have enamel. It's a small, tiny crown, but it's full of stones for the baby Jesus. Okay, so indeed this was not working out for some reason. I will show you, or have shown you the screenshots. I even made a little study on surface preparation. I had notes. I took little pieces to try, and you see this one already chipped. This one also chipped, and then I enameled it again, and I stayed. And I was like, what is happening? Okay, so the first thing I did, I enameled with this color. This is the legendary Aoki 105B. So I actually took some of my very precious stash because this doesn't exist anymore, I just wanted it to be as beautiful red transparent as possible, since the alloy supposedly had gold, silver and copper. I looked into all my enamels, and I looked for an enamel that hopefully the best possible case would be that it will clear on silver, clear on gold and clear on copper. With that I mean that it doesn't react in any way. Mostly you get some colors. This one is a broken palette that fell off and I fired it again. See, I guess you can see it there. This color, for example, clears on copper, which not many reds do. Some pinks also. I have a pink here, maybe. And this one also fell. Should be a bit more. See, that also clear. But often you get an opacification on the. Let me see if I have these. No, actually, the ones I have here is because I was looking for them. This seems like a good example. It becomes completely opaque. Sometimes you even see, especially if you look with the microscope, you see like a reaction there, a weird reaction, different colors, like boiled, not nice. So I thought if I find a color that works on all three, it should be the best possible option. And indeed, 105B clears. It's non-reactive on silver, which is rare. There are only a few of those. Gold, of course, it's amazing. And then it's difficult to see. It's very dark, but because the color is intense. But yeah, it does clear the copper. So I thought this is the best option. I'm going to use my best red. And then I started chipping and chipping. No matter how I was treating the surface of the gold, I was being extra careful because I thought this project has to be perfect. And then it chipped and it chipped. And I asked the goldsmith to please ask what did they put in this alloy. What could there possibly be in there? And what I never thought was going to be possible, but it is true, is that it has 10% of zinc in it. Why? Why would you put zinc on a yellow gold alloy? To make it what? To make it more white? Because gold, yellow is not fashionable right now? I don't know. This is crazy to me that you would do that. Maybe it confers some other properties to the metal, but I'm used in Spain. Other people I was talking with Rebecca about this from Italy, and she's like, what? No, yellow gold is yellow. The gold, copper, silver. You put a bit of silver so it's not too red. I don't get it, but it was the zinc. Zinc is 10% of zinc. If it was 5%, maybe okay. So I thought, this is a bit of a rush job. We can try to get the gold from another supplier. But let's see. It chipped so much that it was almost perfectly clean. But I also had to put it in the hydrofluoric to get a bit things off. Hydrofluoric also, I always hesitate to mention this because it's extremely dangerous. I only want to tell people how to use it in person so I can really convey my... really. So I'm not going to talk more about it. I really recommend that if you have never done this and if you don't get the button from another person and really have good setup and know what's involved in it, don't even look into it. It's not necessary. It is gold. This is a rush job, but look, it was almost clean. I just could have continued working. Maybe sometimes you can put it in the kiln and then throw it in a bucket of water and it jumps off, or you can even hammer it off and melt the metal again and remake it. Or I haven't tried, but I heard about putting cream of tartar or something and put it in the kiln. It like helps it jump off or something. Haven't tried that, but that's what I did just to clean it. And I thought, well, I'm gonna try another red. Some colors do accept a little bit of zinc. It's a bit, you have to test it. I haven't worked really on brass myself. I didn't, I worked a lot on yellow gold, but I didn't have zinc in it. And Rebecca told me a few colors that have worked for her because she has worked a lot on luxury car badges. And this is an alloy of brass that can be enameled, but it has 10-15% zinc, which is a lot. But some reds actually look super beautiful on brass. If they work, they are really beautiful. But I had one of them, but I had already started. Anyway, this is a 21 from Blight. She doesn't work much with Blight, but it's one of my sorry. It's one of my favorite reds on gold, and it's this. Is it gonna focus? It's absolutely beautiful. Actually, I think it's more beautiful than the 105p. I can show you some comparison photos. This has a pink tinge to it. This one, a broken palette. This one is more pure red. And on gold, with one layer it looks a bit orange, of course, because the gold is yellow. But a couple or 3 layers, it looks super beautiful. Even though on the palette it looks like, well, it does react to silver. It's a reactive, you can see that. It reacts to silver. It looks like it's not enough silver to, yeah, I have used it before on gold. I just wanted the best, and it turns out that the best in this case, without me knowing, because of the zinc, may be this one. So far so good. It's been almost 24 hours. So Rebecca recommends that you wait 48 hours to know if it's gonna react, but considering that the 105B jumped in less than an hour, it completely jumped off. And just jumped out without, it chipped entirely off without me touching it. No pressure or anything, just you hear it. Ta! Okay, so I hope this is gonna be a good choice. Otherwise, we are a bit short on time to get another alloy, or I can try Shower 9 that Rebecca recommended, but it's a bit more pink, so I was hoping that this would work. Here I think I used, I think I used this color maybe, and it worked also pretty well. I don't know what's here in this gold alloy, but it worked. So let me show you. I just also wanted to have this video prepared kind of, so it wouldn't be too long, because it's actually a pretty simple project. So I made the two, it's divided in 3 parts. So we have a piece here on the front and then 2 pieces on the back. So I already created the pieces for the back. I had to figure this out because the crown has a bit of an organic shape, so I had to adapt the metal to the shape, of course, and not the other way around. So for example, here's one. That's how it looks. That's gorgeous. And I don't want them to fall. I had to open the prongs, which I hope they're gonna survive. If they don't, we are still gonna have more work. We are gonna have to remove them because this is cast. We're gonna have to remove them and make holes in the enamel, which is possible, and then rivet the thing on. But hopefully I can make it work with these prongs. Okay, so the band goes all around, and they also wanted to, on the front, write Magnificat, which is like some prayer for the Virgin or something. I don't know. And I was kind of studying a little bit some lettering. This is a very quick, basically to refer to. I have several books on calligraphy because I like everything. And I was looking at different fonts. I really liked like this kind of, is some sort of Gothic actually. But Gothic period, not so much what you associate with the Gothic letter, but it's, I think it's called Lombard, or a type of Lombard. This also is. And I just like the texture because it almost looks decorative. But in the end, we are gonna go for something more modern because the crown is also more modern. I have made also some sketches here with exactly the shape of the strip. And in the end, we're gonna go for something like this, which is like some really loose script. We're gonna write it in white vitrifiable paint because it's more readable. And then I was looking into Mary iconography and so on, Marian, okay. And seeing which I wanted to put some decoration on the bands because, you know. And then I decided either I'm gonna put lilies or stars, like the 12 stars, or the white lilies, the Mary, how do you call them? Madonna lily in English, I believe. So yes, this white lily, and I thought maybe I can put some gold on the stamen, but in the end it's gonna be the stars, and they are gonna be very subtle, not big like that, but really something tiny like the little stars here. So indeed, these will have 6 stars each, so the total is 12. This is not going to be seen because the Virgin statue is something like this, tiny, and it's like dressed, completely covered to protect the wooden image because it's very old and fragile, and it has like a big thing all over, and then they put the crown over the top and the scepter, so it's all kind of there. I will show you on screen some pictures. I hope I will maybe get together or take some photos, I don't know. But yeah, we will put super subtle stars with shell gold, so 24 karat gold, and then on the front I will write Magnificat with white because it's a bit more readable. Even though from far you're not gonna see anything, something glittery, but a little bit closer you can be able to read it. So that's the project. And now with you, what I wanted to do is shape and adapt and measure the piece of gold I have here. Actually, it's possible that this is a different alloy. I didn't know, but there were two pieces of gold, and apparently they came from different suppliers. And maybe this one doesn't have zinc. So I'm not sure because I didn't know, so I didn't keep them apart. I don't even know if these two belong together. Maybe they do. Probably. I had to roll them out because they were not long enough to cut into two pieces that would be long enough to go around. So it was too short to cover two pieces, and I cannot join them, you know. I had two pieces that were... Sorry, this is a bit confusing, but it was something like this, but not long enough to cut two strips, and I wanted them all to have the same thickness, so I rolled both. They were 0.5, which would be best, so I had to roll them down to 0.4 to make them long enough. The shape, it could be a problem also, but I don't think that's why it was. It was the zinc that was chipping, but it's better that it has a certain body because yes, it's shaped, but it's also kind of flat. It's not dome. A dome would be best, or something here with edges, you know, like a champlevé, but then it would be too thick. Yeah. So I had to roll it out, and I think this maybe is without zinc, or maybe around this area they always put zinc in the yellow gold. These two, which I suppose they are that alloy with zinc, they are from a Dutch supplier. We order Benelux, you know, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg for trade, almost a unit. So we order things from. I also order from Germany a lot, but so this one is from a Belgian supplier, and the color. Do I still have some bits? These bits, it looks the same, so it could still have zinc also. I'm gonna treat it exactly the same way. I already hammered it. I don't think you need much. I think I, however, have a little video of it, so I maybe put it on, but it's just me hammering with this hammer, which has a bit of a rounded but long peen. I just thought, and indeed it does, that it needs some texture. You can see, I hope you can see it, but I will get a better video. It really gives this shine. I actually wonder if you can flash gold, probably, but the hammering is already beautiful. Another thing I did is brush, but I'm gonna show you all of that with treating this piece. Maybe I can already explain to you how do I adapt this here. So the first thing I did is I just cut out a piece of paper, more or less with the ruler. I measured it. It's really organic, so it's thin and thick. So I just basically put the strip of paper. I tried to adapt it in there. I have a strip for the front piece, which is actually a little bit longer than the others. And I lost it, so that's good. We will do it again together, and then, you know, you can see the whole process. So yeah, we will cut it, shape it until it fits. I have to lift the prongs because the enamel cannot be bent. You need to drop it in place. So yeah, we will do that, and then enameling. The kiln is already on. And then we will also do the vitrifiable paint and the shell gold. We've already done a little bit of shell gold, I think, but yeah, we'll do it again. And then we can also set, I hope that works. So I have to, the prongs are just put in there. I have to shape them and set it, and set here too. So I have to check how this is gonna work and if it's gonna work, hopefully. And then I think it's almost done. She will give it a polish, and it's ready for crowning.